conviction, control nervousness, and to strive not to use notes. So with her third speech, with Skip the Straw, please welcome Michelle Marks.
It's not very big, is it? So it doesn't really matter, does it? Does it? Actually, it does matter, and what I'd like to tell you tonight is why it matters, and also what we can do about it. And that little guy on the floor came in a box with 249 identical twins. The restaurant manager who gave it to me said they use about 2 or 3 boxes a week, and he was one of a chain of 40 restaurants. So that set me to thinking, how many do they use in a year? And I did a bit of calculating, and I came up with a figure. 1.3 million straws between just 40 restaurants in 1 year. And that's not counting the Christmas rush, or those little straws that they have for the cocktails, gin and tonics. 1.3 million straws is enough to fill 3.5 of those big yellow American school buses. So what do you do with 1.3 million used straws that don't all get used at the same time, and they don't all get used in the same place? Well, you could say, recycle them. But recycling them is difficult because the optical sorting machinery has difficulty with black, for example, and with the size of them. So what tends to happen is they get put in the rubbish, and they either get incinerated or they go to landfill. And from landfill, they might get blown around and end up in the sea. What does that matter? Well, if you were a 35-kilogram turtle that was discovered in Costa Rica, you would find that it mattered quite a bit. And let me explain why. This turtle was discovered by a group of marine biologists who actually found something about 1 centimetre sticking out of its nostril. And they decided to investigate a bit further. They snipped off the object, and on discovering it was a straw, thought it best to try and extract the whole of it from the poor turtle. All 10 centimetres of it. And judging by the state of it when it came out of the poor turtle's nostril, and you can look at it online and see the blood coming out of the animal's nose as well, it had been there quite a considerable time and caused the poor thing a lot of distress. And you don't have to search very far on the internet to see a lot more instances of our junk causing distress to marine creatures. But the sea's a long way from Harrogate, so there's not a lot we can do about it, is there? There is, and that's what I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you how to skip the straw. When you decide to change something you do, the important thing is to identify the critical behaviour. Supposing you're ordering a drink from a bar, and the drink comes and you say, didn't really want that straw. Well, the bar manager or bartender will just throw it away, and there's not really any advantage. The straw's still got thrown away. The critical point to say, no, straw please, is when you order. And if you get the opportunity to reinforce it by just saying, can you just write that on the notepad? That will make all the difference as well. Don't worry if you don't say, no straw please, every time, especially at the beginning, because when you're changing your behaviour at the beginning, it takes a little while to do it unconsciously. But as I said at the beginning, it's not very big, is it? But imagine if every Toastmaster and guest in this room and every Toastmaster in District 71 and every Toastmaster in the world said, "No straw, please." What an amazing difference it would make.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That was really interesting, and I've seen that video. It's horrible, isn't it? Poor little thing. Now, you see on your chair, hopefully, if you can sat on it, this little slip